Hello everyone, I'm Adil Zubair, I'm Windows Phone Community Lead, and I have with me
Jerry Yasser, SharePoint MVP and Community Lead for Riyadh SharePoint User Group in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
Great. So Jerry, please tell us about yourself.
You know my name. I already said it 3 times.
Okay.
I am SharePoint MVP first. I was awarded MVP back in April 1st. Maybe it was a joke, but I got it eventually.
Mm-hmm.
I've been working on SharePoint since 2004. The first version I worked it was 2001 ending and 2003 SharePoint starting. So I jumped it at that time. From that time, from like 6 years, I've been working full time on SharePoint. I'm a mixture of, I'm not administrator, I'm not a developer. I'm a mixture of both. Because of having .NET background, I'm working as a developer and as an administrator together.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Microsoft certified trainer and have all the certifications needed for .NET and SharePoint.
Mm-hmm. Great. So you said that you're an MVP. What is the MVP?
MVP is Microsoft Most Valuable Professional. They are the people who do the freaking things, I guess. Who do some funny stuff, who do some scary stuff, and they help people in Microsoft forums. Mm-hmm. They help people offline. They help people online by writing emails. If you're stuck somewhere, I think these people are always happy to help you.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is how to reach an MVP. This is all you need.
Mm-hmm.
And for Microsoft, they are the top influencers in the technology, whatever they are representing.
Mm-hmm.
And their MVPs for SharePoint around 250. I just got the news today that I'm now SharePoint Server MVP.
Ah, great.
That's the good news, yes,
yeah.
Absolutely.
So it's a huge responsibility to be an MVP.
Absolutely. Not only you have to maintain yourself by working on technology, but you also have to spend some time always looking for people who are in trouble and finding the answers for them. Sometimes is not easy. You have to go sometimes out of your limits to go and find the fix for them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I just try whatever possible doing these small events, and we did like a couple of events back in last month, and we are also planning another big event online in the coming days.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so for the people who are watching who doesn't know SharePoint,
okay,
what is SharePoint?
I think this is one of the biggest questions and toughest questions you want to answer. SharePoint is like, first of all it's a technology, it's a framework. So when you say you want to have a platform where you can share information with the people who are working in your company. So the thing is, what kind of information? The information in the companies is always be in the form of documents, and in the form of the information as like purchase orders or customers and employees. So the quickest way to share the information is to have a platform where you can quickly build these things up, rather than starting from a complete scratch or going and creating tables and then storing the values there. SharePoint can help you by providing first of all, web-based websites where you can go and create libraries like folders where you can upload your documents, and then it allows you to create lists where you can create items like customers, employees, and blah blah blah. On top of that, this is the very basic now. On top of that, SharePoint, Microsoft provide their own product called SharePoint Server. The first thing is SharePoint Services, which is a framework, or you can call it SharePoint Foundation 2010. Plus, Microsoft provides SharePoint Server 2010. SharePoint Server 2010 is an enterprise application platform which allows you to do enterprise-wide level things. It allows you to create social networking. It allows you to use search. You can search not only in SharePoint but all the other applications. You can also use business intelligence, so you can connect to the other systems and do some graph and charts which everybody needs to know. Plus, you can have like content management system, so you can go and create pages and then have workflows on top of them. In the end, everything comes up to custom development. So SharePoint 2010 or SharePoint Server 2010 is the best platform for developing applications using Visual Studio 2010, which has a special piece called SharePoint Tools for Visual Studio 2010 allows you to quickly and efficiently develop applications on top of SharePoint.
Great. So you mentioned now two products.
Okay.
One is SharePoint Foundation and the other is SharePoint Server.
Okay.
What is the difference?
Okay, that's very nice. SharePoint Foundation is one piece in the SharePoint world. SharePoint Foundation allows you to, first of all, to the end user part, it allows you to do collaboration. It's a platform which provides you, everything that how SharePoint works. If you are a .NET developer or maybe you have read .NET Framework, .NET Framework is the thing in the end. So you develop application with the Visual Studio. Same way, SharePoint Foundation is the framework. By name, you can also get it. Is a framework which provides you some websites and the ways that you can develop applications. So imagine that Microsoft, using their own technology, which is SharePoint Foundation, build a server product called SharePoint Server. So first of all, SharePoint Foundation is only for doing collaboration. Okay, plus you can develop applications. Now SharePoint Server extends the capabilities of SharePoint Foundation and provides of additional services like content management, search, business intelligence, composites or developing applications on top of it, plus communities. SharePoint Server 2010 is an awesome platform for doing internal collaborative social networking. Provides you very nice ways of working together and knowing what your colleagues are doing. So that's the major difference. So if I repeat it in one sentence, SharePoint Foundation is one piece of stuff, one piece in a whole bunch, okay?
Of SharePoint
and
Server.
Of SharePoint Server. So SharePoint Server provides more options, and SharePoint Foundation is the foundation for SharePoint.
Great. From a developer perspective,
Okay.
what do I need to start building up?
I think you need lots of courage. Okay.
Is it that complicated or?
Not really. The courage is always needed. I
Of
think
course.
the first thing is to be committed. People who start working on SharePoint always think, it's a different platform. But using SharePoint 2010, I would say no, not really. If you are a .NET developer and you know how to develop ASP.NET based applications, and you know what is WCF, creating WCF services, you are in a very good situation. Maybe back in 2005 when you're a .NET developer, but SharePoint is a totally new thing for you. But now, as a .NET developer, you can use all those things inside SharePoint. So, but still, I guess I can name few technologies because if somebody there wants to learn SharePoint, I think .NET is a must. ASP.NET knowledge, developing web-based applications. XML, you should know how to write tags, and how to read stuff, and especially XML classes from .NET. Then you should know about Ajax, for example. Ajax is good technology. If you know Object Panel, that's more than enough. But still, I think you should know Ajax a little more. Silverlight is something that is an added advantage if you can learn Silverlight and you can use it in SharePoint. Web services, WCF services or traditional web services, if you know them, it's much better. Plus Visual Studio 2010. If you know 2005, 2008, you can still use it, but I think using 2010 is much advantage.
Of course, 2010 has a lot more features than the
2010 has special Visual Studio tools for SharePoint 2010, which allows you to develop applications. Plus, you can extend the projects or the items that are there. For example, if you create an ASP.NET application, you create a new web page or user control. So in SharePoint, you create a visual web part. So it saves you from all that hassle that you need to simply develop a control and deploy it into SharePoint. So Visual Studio will do everything for you. Right from the packaging, you will just press right click, deploy, it does everything for you.
Do I need to download and install any specific SDK to start building SharePoint?
I think that's important because Microsoft has published SharePoint's SDK, which is like 193 MB. You can download it because SharePoint is, although it uses lots of ASP.NET features and is built on top of ASP.NET 3.5, but still SharePoint has its own way of developing applications with. If you are trying to develop an application which is reading data from SQL, you will use the